Welcome to Eliances. Those of you that are guests, enjoy today's ride because I promise you it will be quite an experience. So I start off each week, and we do this weekly, with a lesson that I learned. And this is from two very famous people, celebrities to me. These are my kids. What's interesting is that you don't have to have kids to learn a lesson from them. And this lesson certainly helps me within business, and I hope too that it may help you. So let me tell you the lesson that I learned this week. And I always have a lesson kind of in the radar, so to speak, of what's going to happen, and usually come the night before or the night before that, I end up learning something else that I think really makes quite an impact. Okay, so here's how this one went. We had, my son had a birthday, and we had a number of kids over, his close friends, actually 20 close friends. And so this one child walked in, and he walked in with a note. And he's a very quiet child. In fact, actually, he really doesn't speak. And interesting enough is I noticed him because he was walking around with this type of note. He came and he had the pizza and he's walking around with the note. He's playing with the other kids and walking around. And when I talked to him, I said, "Would you like some pizza?" Didn't say yes or no. "Would you like some lemonade?" Okay. "Would you like a type of pizza?" So I brought out each piece, right? So as he's playing and he's going around with this note, about halfway into the party, my daughter, who is a couple years older than my son, goes up to him and says, "What's that note?" Right? I was dying to know what the note was. So he shows her the note, and it simply had 2 phone numbers on it. And she said, "So those are your parents' phone numbers?" And he doesn't answer, and he goes. Now, quickly, she was able to summarize there was a reason why he had the note. First of all, my impression was that if he wasn't comfortable, it was to be able to call to get a ride home. But there was something beyond it that she was able to point, and that was for him to be able to memorize it so that he wouldn't have to walk around with this note and make that lasting impression. So what I saw her do outside with him really was a turning point. And let me tell you what it was. She took the note from him and she says, "I'm going to help you memorize these phone numbers." Now, I've talked before about memorization. In fact, I took a memory class, but please don't ask me who taught it, where it was, when it was, or what I exactly learned. But I know I paid a lot of money for it, and it was interesting. But what she did was, and these were the points that came out, when she was helping him memorize the numbers, she built upon it. So in business, we're always having to memorize things. I used to be able to memorize every name in here and everybody's background. But because we've grown by 300 plus, it's virtually impossible. But what she did was she took the first 3 numbers and she says, 602. Now, here was the magic. She was able to get him to repeat 602. So he actually spoke. Then, when he got that, she did a reward. The reward was, "That's incredible," right? So really the motivation of it. How many times are we always trying to motivate employees or motivate ourselves? Or we do something and what's our reward? Point being is by the end of about 15 minutes, 20 minutes working with him, she was able to get him to memorize the 2 phone numbers that he needed to. And the magic was, he took the note, folded it up, and put it in his pocket. So I ask you today, what lasting impression will you leave on someone? Because that's the magic that happens. And those of you that are guests, you're here because of one reason only, and that's the person that invited you. We reach maximum capacity every week. There are no open seats. We fill up very quick. The way that we're set up, we have a certain number of core people within the group. We have a certain number on our list, our invite list, that are invited, and a certain number of guests that we have each week. So please enjoy today's ride.